Chapter 20. Okay, this could be a short chapter. It's essentially an update of the progress so far, as well as the lowest point for the protagonist and reason up to this point in the investigation. If you've shown your protagonist getting tired or working like crazy to solve the case, it would be easy to show him at near exhaustion at this point. After all, people are being killed and his new flame guardian was recently injured. Even Reason's character trait of reason might not make the protagonist feel better by the end of this chapter. So it's a real low point. Anyway, so let's get started with this chapter and see how it could possibly unroll for the protagonist. The chapter would likely begin just after protagonist and Reason look over Emotion's murder scene. Remember, you always want to show the movement of your characters, so you can't leave one chapter with the protagonist at one place and then start the next at some other location without actually telling the reader that they're about to travel or have just traveled. Anyway, with Emotion dead and the killer still out there, contagonist becomes the main focus of protagonist and Reason. After all, they have absolutely nothing else at this point but contagonist and the link to the first murder and to the evidence they found at his home or business or wherever you decided to put it. So now they need to devise a second plan to try and make him give up information on the initial murder that he was a suspect of. This could be, and likely would be, protagonist and Reason dropping by unexpected or surprising the contagonist somehow to try and get him to take or to talk about what he knows. But once again, you need to make a contagonist too smart, and not fall for the trap. With that said, he should feel the heat, and that's the whole point of writing in that pressure scene. We need to crank up the heat on the contagonist so he looks for cover, and that cover is antagonist. So, next, after having failed once again at getting contagonist to talk, in a scene or two, provide an update to the reader about the investigation. You could make it a high-level conversation, perhaps, between protagonist and Reason as they fall deeper into depression regarding their investigation running cold, but we need a recent update nonetheless. Also, I should point out that you wouldn't have them talk about the entire case. You would likely just pay particular attention to the most recent events to keep the reader up to date. So to end the chapter at the conclusion of the update, the long and short of it is there are no further leads to chase down, and this is the lowest point in the novel for the protagonist and his team. His investigation has come to a standstill with virtually no further leads whatsoever.